Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Bobby Experience. Normally I like to keep it, lighthearted and fun. But I wanted to talk about a topic a subject that's been brought up just about almost every day and every week for more than a year now. And that is racism.
Time 50 minutes.
That's by the way, my Run app. I'm also
miles,
using that too,
pace,
running on this
25
iPhone.
Minutes, 18 seconds per
But
mile.
anyways,
Split pace 26 minutes, 29 seconds.
when it comes
per mile.
to this topic of racism, it seems like it's just about in the news, every day, all the time. And I thought I'd share my 2 cents, or actually my change, for talk about it in a metaphorical sense. Thing is, I find it not only upsetting and something that makes me angry, this whole issue with racism, but more than anything depressing, that there's people that choose to hate other people because of what they look like, the color of their skin. Now, I'd understand if they did something wrong to them, if the verbally slandered or physically harmed them. But to choose to hate another human being simply because of their race, their ethnicity, I think it's terrible. It would seem justified in a way to hate someone for something they did wrong to you. But I think hating another person to begin with shouldn't be in the first place. But that's another whole topic of discussion. But to hate someone just for who they are, simply for their skin color, their ethnicity, it's unfair, and it's terrible, and it's shows terrible consequences. It's terrible consequences that come from hating another person for those reasons. When it comes down to these racial slurs, choosing not to hire or serve someone, even to go as far as murder. And recently there's been that ad that's been highly criticized, that Dove ad of a African American woman changing her shirt, later revealing a light-skinned white woman, and that's been interpreted as being racist, and it can be. Then I also wonder too what if that it went from a light skin to a dark skin, then back to a light skinned person, would it still be interpreted that way? I'm not sure, but that's how the ad appears, and that's how it's widely being interpreted as being racist. And there have been other stories too, that's been going on in the news, and I guess other things I'd like to share in regards to this whole topic of racism is that I think we all ought to just love each other. Simply love each other. The greatest command, what I believe, is to love God with your whole soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. But I think loving others is easier said than done. I mean, how do you love a person that despises you, that insults you, that wants to hurt you, that wishes you ill will, that wants to see your demise? I don't think those are easy questions to answer. But what I do know is that returning hate with hate, violence with violence, just adding fuel to the fire. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It sounds like repetitive and cliche, but I think we know that's true. And I wonder what this nation, I don't know what this nation's going to look like in the next 5 years, 10 years from now. It seems like things are, getting worse. And thing is, I was naive to believe that racism only existed in, certain areas where people would be carrying like a Confederate flag or things of that nature, but it's more prevalent than I thought it was, and I find it to be very upsetting, but like I said before, more depressing than upsetting. I can remember early as my years back in elementary school being called a racial slur. Me being Asian American, yeah, I've been called a chink, and it's very degrading because you're being labeled negatively for your background. And you're not being treated with dignity. You're not being treated as a human being that ought to be treated with kindness, with love, with care. I think that's what everyone wants. And what I believe is at the root of racism, I think there's arrogance, and I think there's fear. Arrogance from thinking that one race, your own race, would be superior to another, and fear that another race, other races are superior to you. But deep down, we're all human beings. We are human. Blood flows through our veins. We all have these feelings, these emotions. We have fear, anger, joy, happiness, sadness. And I wonder when we're going to realize that despite not only our skin color, but other things that make us different, such as our political affiliations, whether we're liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, wherever you are on that spectrum, that we're all people. We ought to just love each other. I think that's what it comes down to. Well, this is Bobby with the Bobby Experience. Take care of yourselves. Love each other. Have a good night.